Book 6. Tritonia had listened to this tale, and had approved of the Muses' song and their just resentment. Praebuerat dictis Tritonia talibus ores, carminaque eonidum iustamque probaverat iram. And then to herself she said, "To praise is not enough. Let me be praised myself, and not allow my divinity to be scouted without punishment. Tuc secum laudere paurum est, laudemur et ipsae nomino nec sperni sine poena nostra sinamus." So saying, she turned her mind to the fate of Maionian Arachne, who she had heard would not yield to her the palm in the art of spinning and weaving wool. Maioniaque animum fatis intendit Arachnes, quam sibi laniface concederi laudibus artus odierat. Neither for place of birth nor birth itself had the girl fame, but only for her skill. Non illa loco nec origine gentis clara, sed arte fuit. Her father, Idmon of Colophon, used to dye the absorbent wool for her with Phoician purple. Pater huic Colophonias Idmon focaeco bibulas tinguebat murisse lanas. Her mother was now dead, but she was low-born herself, and had a husband of the same degree. Occiderat mater, sed et haec de plebe suoque equa viro fuerat. Nevertheless, the girl Arachne had gained fame for her skill throughout the Lydian towns, although she herself had sprung from a humble home and dwelt in the hamlet of Hypaipa. Laedas tamen illa per urbes, quae sierat studio nomen memorabile, quamuis orta domo parva parvis habitabat Hypaipas. Often, to watch her wondrous skill, the nymphs would leave their own vineyards on Tmolus slopes, and the water nymphs of Pactolus would leave their waters. Huius ut adspicerent opus admirabile, saepe deserure sui nymphe vineta timoli, deserure suas nymphe pactolides undas. And 'twas a pleasure not alone to see her finished work, but to watch her as she worked, so graceful and deft was she. Nec factas solum vestes, spectare iuabat tum quoque, cumpierent, tantus decor ad fuit arti. Whether she was winding the rough yarn into a new ball, sive rudem primos lanam glomerabat in orbes, or shaping the stuff with her fingers, reaching back to the distaff for more wool, fleecy as a cloud. Seu digitas subigebat opus repetitaque longo, velera molebat nebulas e quantia tractu. To draw into long, soft threads, or giving a twist with practiced thumb to the graceful spindle. Sive levi terretem versabat pollice fusum, or embroidering with her needle, seu pingebat aku, you could know that Pallas had taught her. Scires appellare doctam. Yet she denied it, and offended at the suggestion of a teacher ever so great, she said, Quod tamen ipsam negat tantaque offensa magistra. Let her but strive with me, and if I lose, there is nothing which I would not forfeit. Certet ait mecum, nihil est quod victa recusem. Then Pallas assumed the form of an old woman, put false locks of grey upon her head, took a staff in her hand to sustain her tottering limbs, and thus she began. Pallas annum simulat, falsosque in tempora canos adit et infermos, baculo quos sustinit artus. Old age has some things, at least, that are not to be despised. Experience comes with riper years. Tum sic orsa loqui, non omnia grandior aetas, quae fugiamus abet. Seris venit usus ab annis. Do not scorn my advice. Seek all the fame you will among mortal men for handling wool. Consilium nesperne meum, tibi fama petatur inter mortales faciende maxima lane. But yield place to the goddess, and with humble prayer beg her pardon for your words, reckless girl. Cede Dei veniamque tuis, temeraria, dictis supplice voce roga. She will grant your pardon if you ask it. Veniam dabit illa roganti. But she regarded the old woman with sullen eyes, dropped the threads she was working, and scarce holding her hand from violence, with open anger in her face, she answered the disguised Pallas. Ad spicit anctorvis in ceptaque fila relenquit, vixque manum retinens confessaque vultibus iram talibus obscuram resecuta es pallada dictis. Doting in mind, you come to me and spent with old age, and it is too long life that is your bane. Mentas inops longaque venis confecta senecta, et nimium vixese dio nocet. Go, talk to your daughter-in-law, or to your daughter, if such you have. Odiat istes, si qua tibi nurus est, si qua est tibi filia voces. I am quite able to advise myself. Consiliis satis est in nimihi. To show you that you have done no good by your advice, we are both of the same opinion. Neve monendo profecisse putes, eadem est sententia nobis. Why does not your goddess come herself? Cur non ipsa venit, Why does she avoid a contest with me? Kur haek kertamina uitat. Then the goddess exclaimed, She has come! Tum dea venit! And throwing aside her old woman's disguise, she revealed Pallas. Ait formamque removit, anilem palladaque exhibuit. The nymphs worshipped her godhead, and the Mygdonian women venerantur numina nymphae, Mygdoninesque nuros. Arachne alone remained unafraid, though she did turn red, for a sudden flush marked her unwilling cheeks, and again faded. Sola est non terita virgo, sed tamen erubuit, subitusque in vita notavit, ora rubor, rorsusque evanuit, ut solet purpureus fiere, as when the sky shows crimson when the dawn first appears, and after a little while, when the sun is up, it pales again. Cum primum aurora movetur, et breve post tempus candescere solis ab ortu. Still she persists in her challenge, and stupidly confident and eager for victory, she rushes on to her fate. Perstat in incepto stolidaque, cupidine palme in sua fatta ruit. For Jove's daughter refuses not, nor again warns her, or puts off the contest any longer. Neque enim Iove nata recusat, nec monet ulterius, nec iam certamina differt. They both set up the looms in different places without delay, and they stretch the fine warp upon them. Aud mora constituunt diversas partibus ambe, et gracili geminas intendunt stamine telas. The web is bound upon the beam, the reed separates the threads of the warp, the woof is threaded through them by the sharp shuttles which their busy fingers ply, and when shot through the threads of the warp, the notched teeth of the hammering sleigh tap it into place. Tela iugo vincta est, stamen secernet arundo, inseritur medium radiis subtemen acutis, quod digiti expediunt, atque interstamina ductum percusso paviunt insecti pectine dentes. They speed on the work with their mantles close girt about their breasts, and move back and forth their well-trained hands, their eager zeal beguiling their toil. Utraque festenant cinctaeque ad pectora vestes brachia docta movent, studio fallente laborem. There are inwoven the purple threads dyed in Tyrian kettles, and lighter colors insensibly shading off from these. Illic et Tyrium quae purpura sensit enum, texitur et tenues parvi discriminis umbre. As when after a storm of rain the sun's rays strike through, and a rainbow with its huge curves stains the wide sky, though 1,000 different colors shine in it, The eye cannot detect the change from each one to the next. Qualis ab imbre solent percussis solibis arcus inficere ingenti longum curvamine caelum, in quo diversi neteant cum mille colores, transitus ipse tamen spectantia lumine fallit. So like appear the adjacent colors, but the extremes are plainly different. Usque adeo quod tangit idem est, tamen ultima distant. There too they weave in pliant threads of gold, and trace in the weft some ancient tale. Illic et lentum filis immititur aurum, et vetus intella deducitur argumentum. Pallas pictures the hills of Mars on the citadel of Cecrops, and that old dispute over the naming of the land. Cecropia Pallas scopulum marvortis in arce penget, et antiquam de terre nomine litem. There sit 12 heavenly gods on lofty thrones in awful majesty. Bis sex caelestes medio Iove sedibus altis augusta gravitate sedent. Each god she pictures with his own familiar features. Sua quemque deorum inscribit facies. Jove is a royal figure. Iovis est regalis imago. There stands the god of ocean, and with his long trident smites the rugged cliff. Stare deum pelage longoque ferriri tridente aspera saxa facit. And from the cleft rock sea waters leaps forth. Medioque I vulnere saxi exiluisse fretum. A token to claim the city for his own. Opignore vindicet urbem. To herself the goddess gives a shield and a sharp-pointed spear, and a helmet for her head. Ad sibi dat clipeum, dat acute cuspidis astam, dat galeam capiti. The aegis guards her breasts. Defenditur aegide pectus. From the earth, smitten by her spear's point, upsprings a pale green olive tree, hanging thick with fruit. Percussamque sua simulat de cuspide terram, edere cum bacchis fetum canentis olive. And the gods look on in wonder. Mirarque Deos. Victory crowns her work. Operis victoria finis. Then, that her rival may know by pictured warnings what reward she may expect for her mad daring, she weaves in the 4 corners of the web 4 scenes of contest, each clear with its own colors, and in miniature design. Ut tamen exemples intellegat emula laudis, quod pretium speret protam furialibis ausis, quatuor in partes certamina quatuor adit. Clara colore suo brevibus distinctas sigilis. One corner shows Thracian Rhodope and Harmeos, now huge bleak mountains, but once audacious mortals who dared assume the names of the Most High Gods. Thracium Rhodophen abet angulus unus et haemum, nunc gelidos montes, mortalia corpora quandam, nominat summorum sibi qui tribuere deorum. A second corner shows the wretched fate of the Pygmaean queen, whom Juno conquered in a strife, then changed into a crane, and bade her war upon those whom once she ruled. Haud victam certamine iusit esse gruem populisque suis indicere bellum. Again she pictures how Antigone once dared to set herself against the consort of mighty Jove, and how Queen Juno changed her into a bird. Pinxit et Antigonen ausam contendere quandam cum magni consorte Iovis, quam regia iuno involucrem vertit. Ilium availed her nothing, nor Laomedon her father, nec profuit Ilion ili Laomedonve pater. Nay, she is clothed in white feathers, and claps her rattling bill, a stork. Sumptis quin candida pennis, ipsa sibi plaudat, crepitante ciconia rostro. The remaining corner shows Cinyras bereft of his daughters. Qui superest solus, Cinyran abet angulus orbum, isque gradus templi, natarum membra suarum, there embracing the marble temple steps, once their limbs, he lies on the stone and seems to weep. Amplectens saxoque iacens lacrimare videtur. The goddess then wove around her work a border of peaceful olive reef. Circuit extremas oleis acalibus oras is modus est. This was the end, and so, with her own tree, her task was done. Operisque sua facit arbore finem. Arachne pictures Europa cheated by the disguise of the bull. Meonis elusam designat imagine tauri Europam. A real bull and real waves, you would think them. Verum taurum, freta vera putares. The maid seems to be looking back upon the land she has left, calling on her companions, and fearful of the touch of the leaping waves, to be drawing back her timid feet. Ipsa videbatur terra spectare relictas et comites clamare sue stactumque vereri absilientes auque timidasque reducere plantas. She wrought Asteri, held by the struggling eagle. Fecit et Asterian aquila luctante teneri. She wrought Leda beneath the swan's wings. Fecit olorines ledam recubare sub alis. She added how, in a satyr's image hidden, Jove filled lovely Antiope with twin offspring. Aditit ut satiri celatus imagine pulchram Jupiter in plerit gemino nicteda feto. How he was Amphitryon when he cheated the Alcmena. Amphitryon fuerit cum te Tirinthia capit. How in a golden shower he tricked Danae. Aureas ut Danaean, Aegina as a flame, Asopida luceret ignis, Nemazine as a shepherd, Nemosinen pastor, Deus daughter as a spotted snake, Varios deoida serpens. Thee also Neptune she pictured, changed to a grim bull with the Aeolian maiden. Te quoque mutatum torvo Neptune, Juvenco virgine in Aeolia posuit. Now as Eniphius thou dost beget the Aloidi, tu visus Enipeus Gignis Aloides, a ram deceivedest Bisaltis, Aries Bisaltida Phallis. The golden-haired mother of corn, most gentle, knew thee as a horse. Et te flava comas fregum, mitissima mater sensit equum. The stake-haired mother of the winged horse knew thee as a winged bird. Sensit volucrem crinita colubris mater equi volucris. Melantho knew thee as a dolphin. Sensit delphina melantho. To all these Arachne gave their own shapes and appropriate surroundings. Omnibus is faciemque suam, faciemque locorum redidit. Here is Phoebus like a countryman. Est illic agrestis imagine Phoebus. And she shows how he wore now a hawk's feathers, now a lion's skin. Utque modo accipitris pennas, modo terga leonis gesserit. How as a shepherd he tricked Macareus' daughter Isse, ut pastor Macareida lucerit Isen. How Bacchus deceived Erigone with the false bunch of grapes. Liber ut Erigonen falsa deceperit uva. How Saturn in a horse's shape begot the centaur Chiron. Ut Saturnus equo geminum Chirona crearit. The edge of the web with its narrow border is filled with flowers and clinging ivy intertwined. Ultima par stele tenui circumdata limbo, nec silibus flores ederis, abet intertextos. Not Pallas nor Envy himself could find a flaw in that work. Non illud Pallas, non illud carpere livor possit opus. The golden-haired goddess was indignant at her success, and rent the embroidered web with its heavenly crimes. doluit successu flava virago et rupit pictas, caelestia crimina. And as she held a shuttle of Gaitorian boxwood, thrice and again she struck Idmonian Arachne's head. Utque Citoriaco radium de monte tenebat, terquater Idmoniae frontem percussit Arachnes. The wretched girl could not endure it, and put a noose about her bold neck. Non tulit infelix laqueoque animosa ligavit cultura. As she hung, Pallas lifted her in pity and said, Pendentem Pallas miserata levavit atque ita. Live on indeed, wicked girl, but hang thou still. Vive quidem pendetamen improba dixit. And let this same doom of punishment, that thou mayest fear for future times as well, be declared upon thy race, even to remote posterity. Lexque eadem proene, necis secura futuri, dictatuo generi serisque nepotibus esto. So saying, as she turned to go, she sprinkled her with the juices of Hecate's herb. Post et discedens sucis ectedos herbe, and forthwith her hair, touched by the poison, fell off, and with it both nose and ears. Et extemplo tristi medicamine tacte de fluxere come, cum quis et naris et oris. And the head shrank up, her whole body was also small. Fitque caput minimum, toto quoque corpore parva est. The slender fingers clung to her side as legs. In latere exis digiti procruribus aerent. The rest was belly. Cetera venter habet. Still from this she ever spins a thread, and now, as a spider, she exercises her old-time weaver art. De quo tamen illa remitit, stamen et antiquas exercet araneat